Welcome, everyone. Come on in and get your seat. Come on in, this will be sweet. Probably emotional, too. That's what we do at UU. Wow. All right, y'all. Welcome. It's 11 o'clock. Judging by the title, I think we're going to go through a roller coaster of emotions. It'll be great. And this is a song that I wrote about kids learning in a free and easy way with more play, so that we teach them from the beginning how to think, how to play, how to become part of community. So this is written about a woman who started her own kindergarten here in Fayetteville. Does anybody remember Ann Brown? I bet Ann Pritchard. I bet Miss Ann remembers Ann Brown. She started her own kindergarten. It was called Brown's Kindergarten, and Kelly Mulholland of Still on the Hill attended that kindergarten. And I also lived on Ann Brown's land called the farm, and where she made a community for artists to play and create. So this is a song called "It's What We Do." What if kids could learn the way they want to, instead of telling them the way they have to do? What if kids could learn the way they want to, try to create and explore, to learn the things they want to do? For generations, our education has been based on our memory, measured by a set of standards and imposed by authority. But what it needs is a lot more creativity. 1, 2, 3, 4. What if kids could learn the way they want to, instead of telling them the way they have to do? What if kids could learn the way they want to, try to create and explore, to learn the things they want to do? There was a woman named Marjorie Ann Brown. She started her own school. She believed in helping others, the poor and the elderly too. She reminds us it's not what we know, but what we do. 1, 2, 3, 4. What if kids could learn the way they want to, instead of telling them the way they have to do? What if kids could learn the way they want to, try to create and explore, to learn the things they want to do? In a world of innovation, we need a new philosophy. Collaborators and earth caretakers who mobilize community. No debt, no tests, no grades, just learning free and easily. 1, 2, 3, 4. What if kids can learn the way they want to, instead of telling them the way they have to do? What if kids could learn the way they want to, try to create and explore, to learn the things they want to do? Learn the things they want to do. Not what we know, but what we do. Thank you. Here's Dustin.
Jory, thank you. I think that is probably going to be stuck in my head. That's a great song. I appreciate that. Good morning and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Fayetteville. My name is Dustin Cook. I serve on the board here. For those of you who don't know me, I help to organize family feasting. I participate on the care team, and I participate in the X2Z gatherings. If you don't know what any of those are, feel free to ask me questions after service. I'm also Zeke's dad, and I am Callie's husband. So those are probably my favorite hats that I wear. Unitarian Universalism is a religious tradition that values freedom in religious thought and journey. We uphold the unity of our interconnections, connections to each other, to all of life, and to the precious universe of which we are a part. We affirm the universality of love and hope as we journey together in community, and we welcome you, whoever you are, at this moment and wherever you are in your spiritual journey. For those of you joining us online, welcome. If you are new, please check out our website, UUFayetteville.org, for more information. The first time I was on our website, I actually Googled most liberal church Fayetteville. Boom. And now I'm here. So if you can't remember UU Fayetteville, try that. Let's see. If you are new, and I think I see a couple of new faces. Hi, welcome. We have a white card. It should be in the seat back in front of you. No pressure. But would love for you to fill out one of these so we can get you on the email list and keep you informed. So there is several things. You could probably just put a name and an email, and then we can start telling you about what we're doing and when we're doing it. And then you will turn these into the collection basket later when it comes around. Later in our service, we'll have a time where you are invited to come forward and drop a stone, symbolizing a joy or a concern, into our bowl of water here on the altar. If you have a joy or a concern you would like to share, we invite you to fill out a yellow card. It's also on the seat back in front of you. There's a place on it to indicate if you want it to be shared aloud or if you want it to just be confidential and shared with leadership. So just, mark that accordingly. If you fill out a yellow card, you can bring it forward when it's time to drop the stones. If you're online, you can write your joys and concerns in the comments there, but please know that they will be public. There's not really a way to keep that confidential. If you have need for hearing assistance, our AV Tech David can help you out with that. Children are always welcome in service, but there is a staffed nursery available downstairs if you prefer. Please remember to silence your cell phones as we enter into service. Thank you, and we hope you enjoyed today's service. Jacob, could you please come light our chalice?
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Let's begin with the lighting of the chalice. Love is the spirit of this community, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in truth, and to help one another, thus to be covenant together.
Hello. Jory, that song was amazing, and it totally goes with everything we're going to talk about today, so thank you. Our most authentic self refers to our genuine core self that is not held back by opinions, judgments, or societal standards outside of this world. Today, we are going to be talking about our most authentic selves in one of the most archaic forms known to us, play. Throughout today's service, I'm going to ask you to do something very challenging. I'm going to ask you to be vulnerable and brave, not with me, or the people around you, but with yourself. All of us, no matter who we are, have experienced unspoken traumas and experiences. I was born to parents who should have never had children. After explaining to my childhood to one of my therapists I've had, she asked me if I had ever heard of domestic slavery. It took me a long time to process how fitting that term was for the first 18 years of my life. I won't go into massive details about my childhood. One, because honestly, it would take a long time, but also it's not for the faint of heart. But I think it's important for you to know my starting point. My childhood was spent being punished with methods like solitary confinement, sensory deprivation, being ridiculed, beaten, and starved. Most days I was either being assaulted, psychologically manipulated, or neglected. In my early childhood, play was my refuge. A place where I got to be anyone I wanted to be and anywhere in the world that I wanted to be. That was until I started playing out my traumas. For those of you who don't know, this is a very normal thing for children to do. It's very normal and healthy. But when my parents realized what I was doing, they took all my toys away and told me I wasn't allowed to play anymore. The truth is, I never stopped playing. I just learned to hide it. The negative side effect of hiding that I was playing made it where I developed a fear of never playing in front of anyone in any way that required me to use my imagination out loud. I felt like I was literally evil for how I played and the way I remember playing. And I was terrified that other people wouldn't want to be my friend, or worse, that my parents would find out that I had played out loud in front of someone else. So over time, my relationship with play changed. It got to the point where I was even afraid to play alone by myself. I felt ashamed of what came out of me during my play, as though I was as bad as the people who hurt me. I convinced myself what was wrong with me was in fact me. It took me a long time to recognize what I went through as a child wasn't okay, that it wasn't normal. But a lot of that realization came from finding the bravery to play authentically. The older I got, the more play seemed to resurface in my life, and play ended up being what I paved my healing journey with, especially when I entered play therapy. So today, I want to share with you how to use play to heal, why it works, and share what it has looked like for me.
Wow, thank you for sharing that already. Please stand if you are able and willing, and let's sing a song together. And let's change the last verse to, or the second to last verse. Come play in rain with me. 1, 2, 3. Come sing a song with me. Come sing a song with me. Come sing a song with me, that I might know you're mine. And I'll bring you home when home Last line. And I'll bring a song of love and a rose in the winter time. Thank you. You may be seated. That was lovely.
So today for our story, we are going to read When a Donut Goes to Therapy by Erin Winters. When a donut goes to therapy, at first he feels all nervous. He does not know what it is like to have this kind of service. Inside, he feels all quivery, a shake within his belly. He does not know what to expect. His stomach turns to jelly. When a donut goes to therapy, he meets a therapist. When mind and gut feel twisted up, they help you to untwist. The donut walks back to a room he thought would feel so stuffy. Surprised, he finds a playbox with toys and a bunny Fluffy. The sandbox sitting on the shelf is filled with figurines, and Donut is allowed to play with puppets by all means. They draw and play and talk on days that Donut feels he wants to. He cries, he laughs, and sometimes have what people call a breakthrough. When a donut goes to therapy, he starts to understand that it's okay to feel dismay and take a helping hand. At first, he thought his feelings were too big and he was worried. But change that lasts is made of work, and rarely is it hurried. Isn't that the truth, Donut? When a donut goes to therapy, he feels some big emotions. He learns to breathe in like a wave and out back to the oceans. Then one day, the donut trusts the therapist enough to bravely face what's in the dark, the deep, and scary stuff. He talks about the monster that is hiding in his room, the hurt and pain that happened there, the great impending doom. He says that he is feeling rather empty in the middle. He really wants to feel fulfilled, even if it's just a little. The donut draws a secret with a paper and a pen. It helps the donut to feel safer every now and then. When a donut goes to therapy, he has a helping team. A superhero sidekicks friends like sprinkles on whipped cream. The hero and his super team will fight to save the day, from nightmares and from dangers till the scary goes away. The donut also learns to draw his big and little mad. He learns that when he squeezes fluff, he feels a little glad. He is wise because he knows that feeling feelings isn't bad. He is strong because he knows just what to do when he is feeling sad. When a donut ends his therapy, he's proud of what he's done. It's a warm and joyful feeling, like sitting in the sun. He gives high fives to his old teammates, confident once more, that he can handle hard life things, no matter what's in store.
All right, it is time for Joys and Concerns. As a community of people that care about each other, we share our various joys and concerns. We invite you to share your ups and downs as you desire. You can come to the front and drop a stone for any joy or concern, shared or confidential, expressed or held in your heart. As you drop your stone, you may you experience the spreading of love and support. You may also notice all the other stones and know that you are not alone. If you filled out a card, you can give it to me. On the card, please indicate whether your comment is confidential or it can be shared. If you need to stay where you are, feel free just to raise the card up and somebody will grab it. If you're attending virtual, you may write your joys and concerns in the comments at this time. So you can line up and grab a stone. Are there any joys and concerns on Facebook? We did have a few joys and concerns from the congregation I'd like to share. Follow my script. Okay. Let's drop a few stones for some joys and concerns not spoken. Let's drop another couple for joys and concerns that we will experience in the coming week. And then let's just observe a moment of silence so that we can contemplate these joys and concerns in quiet relaxation, prayer, meditation, whatever applies to you. Thank you. It is now time for the offering. The important work of this fellowship is possible because of your generous contributions of time, talent, and treasure. Every contribution of every size is helpful and appreciated. As we pass the offering baskets, we invite you to share financially. If you prefer, you may give at our website, by texting online, or by mailing checks to our office. Will the hosts please come forward and pass the offering baskets? Okay, thank you all. And Callie, I think we're very excited for you.
Let me get a drink. When I get nervous, my mouth gets obscenely dry. Before we dive in to play, I want to define what trauma is. Traumatic events can range from single incidents to prolonged experiences. There are physical, emotional, psychological, social, and spiritual traumas. Trauma can be getting into a car accident, having a really nasty breakup, or being abused. There are so many examples of trauma. I could stand here all day listing them. That's really sad. The best definition for trauma is an experience that overwhelms a person's capacity to cope, which causes lasting negative impacts on their mental, physical, emotional, or social well-being. There are three main things that happens to our brains when we are confronting a traumatic situation. First, at the center of our brain is our reptile brain. Rawr. It is basically in charge of how we react when we're presented with trauma. Our reptile brain tells us we have four options. Either we're gonna fight, run, freeze, or appease. And it chooses for you. You don't get a say in it. We also call this an instinctual reaction. This is also when your brain starts cascading stress hormones all over your body. I know we all love that. The second major thing in our brain that our brain does during trauma is in our right side of our brain, and it becomes hyperactivated. The right side of your brain is part of the brain that is in charge of our emotions. So you are supercharged with emotions and very aware of your surroundings. And the last part of your brain that's impacted is our left side. Everything in the left hemisphere almost completely deactivates. This is where speech and logical sequencing takes place. When the left side shuts down, all functionalities go offline, meaning we cannot translate our feelings and perceptions into words or logic. You can actually see this in some people because we call it being in shock. When this happens, it is scientifically compared to having a stroke. Sorry, my hands are full. With the left side of the brain functionally offline, the brain relies on the center of the brain, your reptile brain, to come up with an escape plan or a way out of the trauma. However, if you're unable to escape the trauma, our brain doesn't receive what it needs in order to know the traumatic situation is over. What that means is that the right side of the brain reacts using all of its supercharged emotions and continues to believe that the body is still at risk of the trauma continuing at any given moment. This can lead to PTSD or CPTSD. Out of means to protect us from being caught off guard from the trauma that our brain thinks is inevitably going to happen again, the reptile brain forces us to remain hypervigilant and on guard so that we are ready to escape at a moment's notice. Learning this helped me to better understand myself. It helped me to quit blaming myself for being trapped in my CPTSD and anxiety. It helped me to have compassion for myself. Instead of viewing myself as someone with a broken brain, I marveled in absolute awe at how amazing and beautiful my brain was for protecting me the way that it has. It gave me hope that I could work with my brain to get through this. So that brings me to play. But what is play? Isn't that just a thing for children? Absolutely not. Play is for every person at every age. Play is defined as a state of mind that one has when absorbed in an activity that provides some level of enjoyment. That the play state is when you are so absorbed in what you are doing, you aren't paying attention to anything else. The instinct to play is built into our biology. We literally have play programmed into our brain circuits. The drive to play is as fundamental as our drive for food and sleep. It is not just a state of pleasure, but a psychological state that reflects a sense of safety, which, if you recall from just a few minutes ago, that is something that trauma inhibits our brains from feeling if we aren't able to find safety in moment from the traumatic experience. If you look at this picture, right here, pointer, David showed me how to use it. Right here, you can see the red portion is where play circuits begin. Boop, boop, boop. And how they literally light up the rest of the brain with activity. This is so significant when we are talking about combating trauma, because play overrides the negative impacts of trauma by reactivating the brain's shutdown of the left hemisphere, which reconnects our ability to process through what happened to us once again. The act of play on a biological level allows us new ways to create a positive mindset, process, and engage in forward thinking. Play is a powerful and transformative tool that allows people of all ages, especially adults, to engage with trauma. It provides a safe space for self-expression, exploration, reconnecting with your body, empowerment, and healing. Play allows us to work out and process complex emotional, social, and psychological problems that arise in our lives in abstract and direct ways. The act of play releases chemicals in the brain that helps with promoting connection to other people and oneself, mood regulation. It gives a sense of happiness. They are natural pain relievers. And, most importantly, it actively reduces the stress hormones produced by our brains when we are engaged in traumatic experiences. And for those of you who don't know, PTSD and CPTSD, whenever someone is having flashbacks or going through an episode of their trauma, all of your reptile brain, bless it, can't tell a difference between a flashback and when it happened. So being able to engage in play while working through that flashback overrides the stress hormones that your reptile brain puts into your body with play hormones that deactivate those stress hormones. It's amazing. This allows our brains to, let me move up a little. Plus, Entering the play state signals to the body that you are safe. And when play is done in a therapeutic way, it can help us reprocess trauma in a way that allows for our brain to reshape and reorganize our previous understandings or lack thereof of the traumatic experience. This allows our brains to recognize that the threat of trauma is actually over. Hence, breaking the cyclical nature of PTSD and CPTSD. Entering play therapy allowed me to reclaim my ability to play and express my innermost hurt parts of myself. I have with me today dolls that represent layers of my most internal parts that have been hurt, and I hand-painted them. The creation of these dolls was a form of play for me, but I also used them in my play therapy to help me understand myself better and work through my trauma. I've done a lot of speaking about why play therapy is important, but I also want to give you an example of how it works. Also, this is specific to play therapy, so if, it's different than regular play. It's not too different, but it's kind of different. Please hear me when I say there are so many ways to engage with play therapy. There is sand play, which we have on the altar. A lot of these we have on the altar. Toys, puppets, songwriting, storytelling, poem writing, drawing, board games, meshing with clay, painting, all kinds of ways. So many more. For me, I needed a tangible representation, and these dolls are how I chose that for myself. Now, I want you to remember, playing in front of others is a huge insecurity for me, but I love you all, and I think that it's important to demonstrate this, so I'm going to do my best. So I'm quite nervous about this, but here's what it looks like. Thanks. So this is my soul self, and she is completely unharmed by all the things I've been through. This, and I think we all have one of these, is self-blame. and self-blame kind of sometimes turns into self-hate when unregulated and unchecked. So this is how I would sit with my therapist, and we would play this out. So self-blame. I'm so mad. I try so hard to do things, but I never get it right. It's always wrong. It always has been. I couldn't even protect myself as a kid. I just never did anything right. I was always punished, and I just can't do it right. Oh, hi, self-blame. You're out today. What are you doing? I can't do anything right. That's what I'm doing. Absolutely nothing at all correctly. Oh, self-blame. Come under my wing. Come under my wing. That's just not healthy. We can't talk to ourselves like that. I don't see why not. I always talk to myself like this, and I'm okay with it. Are you? I mean, I don't know. I don't know how to not be okay with it. Okay, well, I have a friend I want to show you. Oh, okay, cool. This is Mr. Turtle. Hi, I'm Mr. Turtle. Hi, Turtle. I heard you're having a hard time blaming yourself for everything. Yeah, that's my name, self-blame. Oh, well, what are you blaming yourself about? Well, I think that my issue is that I've never been able to do anything right. I've always been blamed for everything. My parents constantly were punishing me My parents were constantly punishing me for things that I just didn't do right. Oh, Did your parents love you? No, I don't think so. Well, that's not very kind. Nah, probably not, but it's probably my fault. Well, that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. You know, if I came and told you that my mama turtle and daddy turtle didn't like me and it was my fault, what would you say? I would say to you that that's silly, that it's not your fault if your parents treat you bad. It's no child's fault that their parents treat them bad. Then why are you blaming yourself for that? I don't know. I just always have. Well, maybe we should think about that. And you know what? As a turtle, I don't know if you've ever heard my story, Turtle in the Hair, but we work through this in a slow manner. And I'm gonna just take you under my shell. If anyone decides to hurt you, I'll just tuck you into my shell and protect you. I have a good idea. I have a healer friend. Hi. I'm going to teach you affirmations and how to love yourself. And I'm going to teach you about this secret. It's called self-worth. Self-worth? I don't know what that is. That's okay. We'll get there. Slow and steady. So that's kind of what it looks like. Anyone else like really hot? Thank you for allowing me to demonstrate that for all of you. Using play to heal my trauma is an ongoing process, a lot to heal. But it helped me to realize how valuable and possible it is for me to breathe life into my authentic self. The person I was always meant to be, and the person I've actually always been underneath all the pain and trauma. So I dare you to imagine what play can do for you.
Nicely said and demonstrated. Thank you for sharing your process and your experiences. And I think that's how we learn, right? And I remember talking to you at around Halloween. We were out by the fire, and you shared some of that. And I just had this huge outpouring of love for you, and just held you so close. And just proud of you. Thank you. And so let's put love at the center. Let's stand up and sing, if you're willing and able. 1, 2, 3. Love will guide us. Peace has tried us. Hope inside us. Lead the way on the road long. Free to giving. Love will guide us through the hard night. If you cannot sing like angels, if you cannot speak for thousands, you can give from deep within you. You can change the world with your love. Love will guide us. Jesus tried us. Hope inside us. Lead the way on the road from free to giving. Love will guide us through the hard night. If you cannot sing like angels, if you cannot speak before thousands, you can give from deep within you. You can change the world with your love. Last line. You can change the world with your love. And some play. Thank you all. Announcements and chalice.
Let's extinguish the chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
Just a couple quick announcements for everybody. Today, we're going to do something really interesting. We have an after-service discussion that Callie will lead at 12:30. So if you have any questions, any comments, if you just want to talk about play, come hang out with us after coffee hour. And this weekend, have fun, be safe, be proud. Yeah.
All skills not practiced will fade. But if it's been a long time since you've played, I have good news for you. Play has neural circuits that can easily be reawakened and re-expand themselves. Our brain has what they call a lot of neuroplasticity. On the screen, I know it's a little small, I'm sorry. I've listed a bunch of different ways and types of plays if you feel like you're a little rusty at play. I definitely recommend that before you did anything with play therapy, and your play therapist, if they're good, they'll help you with this first. Because I was definitely rusty, and so she had me start with blowing bubbles. And y'all, that was really nice. And I don't even have that on here. It can be anything from collecting, organizing, video games, board games, Sudoku and puzzles, escape rooms. Have y'all ever been to one of those? Those are awesome. Music, any kind of music, any kind of art. It can be playing in a play. It can be playing with toys, pretending with your imagination. Slam poetry. That one's awesome. I love slam poetry. For those of you who are more empowered with the sciences, science experiments are play. Exploring new environments, going to a zoo or aquarium, being on a farm, telling jokes. That's Dustin's favorite. Listening and watching comedy, funny movies, running. If you're a runner, good on you. Running, building, swimming, hiking, constructing, designing, kayaking, any kind of sports, theme parks, writing, poetry, storytelling, socializing with your friends is a form of play. Reading. There's all kinds of play. So engage with it because it is good for your soul. It is good for your mind. It is good for your psyche. The more you play, the more your brain structure and neurological activity physically changes you inside your body. In your brain, it physically changes your brain for the better. The key to reestablishing play into your life is committing to having a play mindset. But please remember that play and joy are skills that require patience when you're nurturing them. So be brave and have unconditional compassion for yourself. And if you don't know what self-compassion is, there are great books for it because I didn't. You can do it. So don't worry about whether your play makes sense to someone else. Just enjoy yourself. There is no wrong way to play if you're not hurting someone. Embrace your most authentic self and follow what feels good to your heart. Play is an act of self-love. So love yourself enough to play. As Dustin said, the last thing I'm going to say is that after service, we are going to have like a little discussion thing. It starts at 12:30, so you can enjoy your coffee hour first. And we're going to just kind of have an after-service thing. My goal is to just share some resources that helped me get to where I am, some books, healing methods, things like that. And then we'll turn it to discussion and allow anyone to share their thoughts about the sermon, experiences with play, or just ask questions. I hope to see you there. It's okay if not. Thank you. Blessed be.
I'm going to sing my original song again. So if you want to get up and dance and sing along and have some coffee with it, please feel free. And thank you all so much for being here and listening. And playing from your heart and with your brain.